Gundam models are model kits depicting the vehicles and characters of the fictional Gundam universe by Bandai. These kits have become popular among mecha anime fans and model enthusiasts in Japan and in other nearby Asian countries since the 1980s. Gundam modeling spread in the 1990s, with North America and Europe being exposed to Gundam through television, video and manga. Gundam models, as well as the hobby of assembling and painting them, is known in Japan as Gunpla, a portmanteau of Gundam plastic model, plastic being the most common material for the retail kits. History: late 1970s–Euro 1980s, Mobile Suit Gundam debuted in 1979 and the first Gunpla kits came in 1980, following the show's cancellation. Nearly every mecha in the series was made into a model kit, from mobile suits to support aircraft and space battleships. Parts came in up to 3 different colored sprues. These kits lacked articulation and detail, and required glue and paint to build and finish. Following the completion of the TV series line, Bandai introduced the MSV line, featuring alternate variants of the series mobile suits. One of the highlights of the line was the PF-78-1 Perfect Gundam, which introduced system injection, which minimized the need to paint the model. Mid-1980s–Euro 1990s, following a line of kits from the Round Vernier the Farm series, the 1985 Mobile Suit Zeta Gundam kit line incorporated the use of polycaps as connectors for better articulation of joints. The 1987 Gundam Sentinel model line introduced the concept of snap-fit models, reducing the need to use glue. And starting from the 1988 Mobile Suit Gundam, Char's Counterattack line, all Gunpla kits feature snap-fit assembly. In 1990, Bandai introduced the high-grade line, which featured newer 1/144 scale versions of the RX-78-2 Gundam, the RX-178 Gundam Mk2, the MSZ-006 Zeta Gundam and the MSZ-010ZZ Gundam. Each kit boasted exceptional detail and articulation, as well as features normally found in their larger scale versions such as the Gundam's core block system and the Zeta's transformation feature. Beginning with Mobile Suit Victory Gundam in 1993, a unified set of polycap joints was created for smaller scale models that allowed easy mass production of models that all shared the same basic skeletal frame. This standardization allowed Bandai to release more models over a shorter period. As a result, the Gundam shows of the 1990s usually received sizable 1/144 model lines. These were all of similar quality, with some attention to colors molded in the right area, a reasonable level of detail for their price point, and mobility is such that all major joints had at least some degree of mobility. In 1995, the 1/100 Master Grade line was introduced. This line features more parts, better detail and improved articulation than past kits of the same scale. Following the release of the Perfect Grade Evangelion, Bandai introduced the 160 Perfect Grade line to the Gundam series in 1998. This line features extensive detail and articulation, as well as working skeletal systems and light-up features. The PG line is the most expensive among all Gunpla kits, and only a select few mobile suits have been released in this line. To celebrate the 20th anniversary of the franchise in 1999, Bandai released 1/144 first-grade kits of mobile suits from the original series. Marketed as budget models, these snap-fit kits featured the simplicity of the original kits, but with more modern designs based upon the corresponding perfect-grade kits. 2000s, Mobile Suit Gundam Seed introduced a new type of a non-graded 1/144 model, with a completely different design plan. While these still feature snap-fit and color molding, they omit major joints, opting instead to only allow critical pieces to move, typically the neck, hips, shoulders, and feet. These are budget models, usually retailing much lower than other models. And this line was extensive, covering nearly every machine to be featured in the TV series. Gundam Seed also featured non-graded 1/100 models, identical in quality to Bandai's high-grade offerings. It was also during this decade that the term Gunpla was coined by Bandai. To commemorate the 30th anniversary of Mobile Suit Gundam, Bandai released the MGRX78-2 Gundam VA 2.0. While this model is closely designed after the anime art, it features radical improvements over the previous Gundam kits in terms of engineering and build quality. 2010s. In 2010, Bandai released the 148 mega-size model RX78-2 Gundam kit as part of the franchise's 30th anniversary campaign. This kit features many innovations that make it easy to assemble for first-time Gunpla collectors. For example, the parts are attached to sprue gates thin enough to break without the need to use of plastic cutters, and excess gate plastic can be removed from the parts without using a hobby knife. Some sprues have been designed to snap together for easy and quick removal of assembled parts. Also in the same year, Bandai introduced the 144 real grade line, which takes design elements from the MG line such as an inner skeletal frame. Both mega-size model and RG variants of the RX78-2 Gundam were patterned after the 1/1 scale Gundam statue on display in Odaiba. Bandai also released Gunpla, a series of HGUC and SD kits molded in black and made entirely out of recycled sprues. In 2011, Bandai released the entry-grade line, a low-cost model series similar to the 144 NG and FG lines and is sold only in parts of Asia. Unlike other kits of the same scale, all EG kits are made in China. The series was discontinued after its first run. Back in Japan, Bandai introduced the advanced grade line for Mobile Suit Gundam AGE, a budget line that focuses more on the arrangement of colored parts, thus sacrificing more articulation than the previous budget lines. The AG line incorporates a microchip that enables collectors to use the kit in the Gauging arcade game. In 2014, as part of the 35th anniversary celebration of Gundam, Bandai released the MGRX78-2 Gundam VA 3.0, which incorporates the engineering techniques used in the MG 2.0 and RG kits. Bandai will also introduce a sub-line of the HG line in mid-2015 called HG Revive, which consists of re-engineered 144 scale kits of the RX78-2 Gundam and other classic mobile suit designs. Plastic Gundam model kits are manufactured in Japan or China by Bandai, which is an exclusive license in manufacturing and marketing them around the world. The models are typical of plastic models. Sprues of injection-molded polystyrene parts which must be cut out before assembly. The majority of post-1990 models have snap-fit parts, with models prior to that requiring an adhesive such as plastic cement. Plastic Gundam models kits are typically supplied with stickers and sometimes water-slide decals to apply extra colors and markings as seen in popular media such as TV shows, movies, manga or video games. Smaller or lower-grade kits often require paint to give the model a finished appearance, due to color discrepancies. The kits range in different scales with the most popular scales being 1/550, 1/220, 1/144, 1/100 and 1/60, and more recently the 148 mega-size model and 135 lines. Generally in real-world terms, kits range from 4 to 5 inches for small-scale models, 6 to 8 inches for mid-scale models, and 12 inches for big-scale models, although these sizes vary from model to model. With a few exceptions, all currently produced kits bear grade ratings that give a good idea about their final quality. The following lists the most well-known and common categories with humanoid designs in their order of quality, from lowest to highest. Scales and grades. Super deformed equals, not based on any particular scale, the super deformed style features comically proportioned models, the most noticeable features of which are their very large heads. Super deformed Gundam kits are often very easy to construct but offer very limited articulation and require paint and detailing to truly finish the kit. The most famous line is the BB Senshi. There are also separate product lines, for instance, Superior Defender Gundam Force and Ganzo SD Gundam. Most kits of this line are from the Musha Gundam series and the Night Gundam series. In 2015, Bandai introduced SD Build Fighters as a complement to the 1/144 scale high-grade Build Fighters line for Gundam Build Fighters Tri. Another line called SD Gundam X Standard is also announced. 144 scale equals, the very first kits have been running for 30 years and are routinely re-released by Bandai. As these kits are limited in articulation and require glue and paint to assemble, these have retroactively been categorized as no grade, to differentiate them from first grade. During the mid to late 1980s, the quality of molding improved and high-grade level kits were introduced in 1990, starting from the titular mobile suits of the first 4 TV series. These limited-run kits featured full snap-fit assembly, an internal frame, and utilized the molding technique known as system injection, wherein multiple colors would be cast on the same part. Since 1999, the high-grade series uses various names to separate them from line to line. High-grade Universal Century refers to units that appear from Mobile Suit Gundam to Mobile Suit Victory Gundam and the series that are released in between. In 2010, this was expanded to include other series, under the lines High-grade After Colony, High-grade After War, High-grade Future Century, High-grade Correct Century and High-grade Cosmic Era. Models from Mobile Suit Gundam Seed, Mobile Suit Gundam Seed Destiny, Mobile Suit Gundam 00, Mobile Suit Gundam AGE, Gundam Reconquista in G, and Mobile Suit Gundam, The Origin were released separately under the sublines High-grade Gundam Seed, High-grade Gundam 00, High-grade Gundam AGE, High-grade Reconquista in G, and High-grade The Origin, respectively. In late 2013, 2 new lines were introduced, High-grade Build Fighters and High-grade Build Custom, to celebrate the release of Gundam Build Fighters. The HGBC series is one of the first Gunpla-related material that allowed modelers to customize their Gunpla with various gear. In 2015, a new line called High-grade Iron-Blooded Orphans is announced to celebrate with the release of Mobile Suit Gundam, Iron-Blooded Orphans. In 2010, Real Grade surpassed High-grade as the top-end series of the 144 Gunpla line. These kits feature extensive detail and articulation, as well as a posable skeletal frame comparable to the 100 Master Grade kits. The first RG kit was the 144 RX-78-2 Gundam, followed by the 144 milliseconds 06S Char's Zaka 2, GATX-105 Ale Strike, MIS 06F Zaka 2, ZGMFX-10A Freedom. In 2011, Bandai released the entry-grade line in Southeast Asia. Manufactured in China, the EG line contained less parts than the FG kits, thus having very limited articulation. Only 4 Gundams were released in the line. 100 scale equals, just like the 144 scale model kits, these 100 scale kits started about the same time, again starting from RX-78-2 Gundam. Generic 100 kits may also be called no grade to differentiate from other specific 100 kits. Later kits are clearly inspired from the post-HG 100 kits and features a similar or greater level of quality and detail. This line was discontinued in 2009 until the announcement of the 100 Gundam Barbatos in 2015. Beginning with Victory Gundam in 1993, the high-grade line would shift to relatively well-detailed larger-scale kits in the 100 scale. There was little need for painting and detailing. These applied for the 100 scale models produced between 1993 and 1998, including Mobile Suit Victory Gundam, Mobile Fighter G Gundam, Mobile Suit Gundam Wing, After War Gundam X, and New Mobile Report, Gundam Wing Endless Waltz. Each TV series would receive on average between 6 to 8 models in this scale and grade. The HG moniker would revert into the 144 scale line in the 2000s. Master grade models were first introduced in the summer of 1995, designed and made to higher standards than most other models. These kits take much longer to construct and are often much more expensive than their lower-grade counterparts. More recent master-grade plastic models typically feature a movable inner frame system which enables extensive movement and bending of joints. The popularity of this line was so great that a lot of old and new kits from non-graded series were cast as master-grade models. Though the name of master grade is widely known because of Gundam, but it is not Gundam exclusive, as a few master-grade offerings are coming from mechas in Patlabor and Dunbine. Bandai also released a line featured a series of character figures from Dragon Ball Z, Kamen Rider, and Tiger and Bunny under the name of MG Figurize. Reborn 100, or RE/100, was introduced by Bandai in 2015 to cover mobile suit designs that are either too obscure or too costly to receive the MG treatment. Much like later MG-100 kits, the RE kits feature detail and articulation equal to or greater than 144 hectograms kits. 160 scale Bandai released 160 scale versions of the main mecha of major TV series. These are non-grade or TV-grade models, and are the main line of the 160 scale kits. Early 160 kits, like other scales, were simply larger versions of the smaller scales. In the early to mid-1990s, 3 high-grade X models of V2 Gundam, Shining Gundam and God Gundam were released, featuring more details and gimmicks than their smaller counterparts. Bandai has also created a much more detailed series of figures called Perfect Grade. These kits come in standard 160 scale but are superbly detailed in terms of color and its inner frame, as well as normally possessing more points of articulation, such as hands that articulate at the knuckles. Perfect grade kits were mainly used for developing new plastic model technologies, a function currently taken over by the master grade series, and typically need a few years to develop each kit. 148 scale Bandai released the 148 mega-size model line in 2009 to commemorate the 30th anniversary of Mobile Suit Gundam. Available in 4 models, the RX-78-2 Gundam, the MISO 6E Zaka 2, the MISO 6S Char's Zaka 2, and the Gundam AGE-1 Normal. These kits are essentially larger versions of their 144 high-grade UC counterparts, but priced much lower than the 160 perfect grade line. Once assembled, these models stand 37.5 cm tall. Bandai developed these kits with ease of build in mind, as they require no tools to build. The individual pieces are attached to the runner by a very thin piece of plastic so that they can be broken off by hand. The assembly process can be sped up even more, as the runners have been developed in a way so that you can attach 2 together and break off the individual pieces that way. Bandai also include a double separator tool to help with the new method of building. The last model in this line was the Gundam AGE-2 Normal, released April 2012. Bandai discontinued the line afterwards. 135 scale Universal Century hard graph line does not primarily center around the humanoids of the Gundam universe. Rather, it centers on military things on a more conventional scale, such as land vehicles, tanks and troops. However, some kits do include detail-to-scale mecha parts which are particularly useful for the creation of dioramas. For instance, the Anti-Miss Squad kit includes an articulated lower Gundam GM arm. Other mixed scales There are other less common scales such as the speed grades 1-200. A 1-400 scale model line is designed for large mobile armors in battleships, and the Gundam Collection line, which the line's ordinary mobile suits are figures, not models. Only extremely large units like mobile armors and warships need assembly. These models are pre-colored models, and the warships need minimal assembly. An earlier line of model, the high-grade mechanics, with a scale of 1/550 held a similar function in introducing large mobile units, but the line only consists of 3 mobile units from 0083. Another high-detail line is the X model, in scales of 1/144 and 1/100 and 1/1600/1/1700, ranging from the Universal Century to Cosmic Era productions. This series is not Gundam exclusive, having models from other series like some of the jet aircraft from Sentio Seryukikes and at least one aircraft from Ace Combat 5. Gundam fixed figuration quality and pricing concerns The Gundam fixed figuration series of collectible figures was started based on the Gundam mechanical designs of Hiromi Katoki and his Gundam Fix illustration art book, and are released by Tamasha Nations, a Bandai's characters-based toys line. These figures share similar features as those found in the MSIA series, but are considerably more detailed and often include more accessories. Changeable parts and variant models are often utilized throughout the line, offering the collector a wide variety of display abilities. The collectible figures use PVC for construction materials, and a recently introduced expansion to the line uses metal in the skeleton of the figure. Gundam figures are designed to be true to Hayao Kotoki's vision, and as such often adopt design elements and styling found throughout his artwork. The Fix series caters to Gundam fans who enjoy the scale, possibility and durability of the MSIA line, but seek the extensive details and variations that can often only be found in the master-grade Gundam model kits. The GFF line does carry a higher price than the MSIA and MSIA extended lines, which can represent a concern for some collectors. However, overall the GFF represent a more high-end line of collectibles, which often contain better detail, more accessories, and the option to build multiple variations in the same box. As the series has progressed, GFF collectibles have been improved. Changes include sharper, more precise part casting resulting in better detail, improved articulation, and improved durability. GFFN equals, the GFFN lineup is significantly better than the old GFF series, though usually sporting a considerably higher price due to materials, production and shipping. The quality has improved thanks to a new durable plastic that is distinctively reminiscent to the Gundam model plastic, thus replacing the resin that shrank while curing. There is also little, or no casting lines, professionally casted heads, and considerably less of the brittle grayish plastic that plagues the GFF series. Rubber is now being used sparsely, often to be used for the hands to allow ease of swapping weapons or spare hands without breaking or warping the joint socket. Aside from price, there are very few toys in the lineup, with some costing between $70 to $150 or more. Bandai also created similar toy lines, GFF Metal Composite, a spin-off of the GFF series utilizing injection-molded ABS plastic and die-cast metal. Xenography, a spin-off of the GFF series that showcases mobile suits from the Zone Forces. Cosmic Region, high-quality line of mobile suits, similar to GFF, that appear in Mobile Suit Gundam Seed Destiny. OO Region, high-quality line of mobile suits, similar to GFF, that appear in Mobile Suit Gundam OO. GFFN, Gundam Fix Figuration Next, 004X series utilizing metallic parts, slightly larger scale, better quality paint job and markings. The first figure is a re-release of the number 0030MSZ008 Zeta 2, released March 2009. KFF, a spin-off lines features characters in Sergeant Frog with original mechas designed by Hayao Kotoki. As being a parody, the box art sticks as much what as the original GFF is. Special editions. Over the years, Bandai released special limited editions of various kits, usually as competition cup held in Hong Kong, prizes, or as an event-limited item, although sometimes these kits are sold as limited web shop items or discreetly sold by Bandai. These kits usually come in clear plastic, metal-plated, gloss finish, pearl finish, titanium finish, or any combination of these. Their prices are usually much higher than their regular release counterparts. Non-plastic, Bandai has also released some Gundam Garage kit under their branch, B-Club. These models are composed of unpainted resin with no decals provided, often needing modification by the modeler due to the inherent properties of the manufacturing process. While comparably more expensive compared to plastic kits, they offer an unparalleled level of detail for the dedicated and experienced model builder. A few select kits have also appeared manufactured from metal. These kits are offered by several different manufacturers and most commonly will result in a finished model of about MG level. These types of models usually take days to build. For display only, for trade shows and toy fairs, Bandai displays some extremely large models in 1/6 or 1/12 scale. True to the scaling, some of these models are well over 5 feet tall. Although most of these are one-off promotional models used for display purposes, Bandai has produced a few of these for commercial purposes under their HY2M line. Notably, These are Miso 6S Zaku 2 Commander type, which is now out of production, and the URX 78-2 Gundam. These generally retail for approximately $2,000 and are intended to be sold primarily to store owners as display fronts. Chinese copy controversy. On April 2010, Bandai sued two Chinese toy manufacturers for manufacturing and selling counterfeit Gunpla kits. The lawsuit states that Bandai demands 3.69 million RMB compensation from the companies. In popular culture, 4 Gundam media series titles focus primarily on Gunpla kits: Plamo Shiro, Model Suit Gunpla Builders Beginning G, Gundam Build Fighters and its sequel Gundam Build Fighters Tri. In the manga anime series Sergeant Frog, an addiction to Gundam models is the only thing stopping Keriro from invading Earth, since he reasons that if the Coronians invade Earth, all of the Gundam models will be destroyed, and there will be no one to make new ones. He loves the models so much, if any harm comes to them, he will react violently. He is prepared for such events, though, since he keeps spare kits in the Hinata family's attic. References. External links: Bandai Hobby Site, Bandai Action Kits Universal Cup Online Competition, Tamashel Web, official Gundam Fix Figuration Series website.